evening, Lighthousers. So, if you are new here, my name is Jaleesa Dozier. I own Lipstick Lighthouse and Deliberately Dozier. Lipstick Lighthouse is a faith based apparel and publication company, and Deliberately Dozier is a blog that I created that details how challenging it has been to start up a business and operate it in an area that has been overtaken by a network of gangs. Since the open of my business, I haven't made a dime from it. Someone has just taken my brand and its likeness and collected money under false pretenses using my, company name and logo. But in doing so, they've kept me from, having any clientele. But I am not the only business owner who has had to suffer at the hands of, the gang violence here in the area. So we have had some drug trafficking here. We've had some human trafficking here, and we've had some organ trafficking here. And with there being the presence of a gang, they've just colonized the area to be in cohesion with the criminal activity. So that means that, we've had this affect our neighborhoods, affect our shopping centers, our businesses, our grocery stores, our schools, our government. And at some point, things were not operating as normal. And it's been a push and a tug of war to get things back to the way they were before we had a network of criminals kind of come in and settle in the area. But I come on here all the time and let you know that a lot of businesses have been shut down. Most people have moved out of the area. You see a lot of abandoned commercial buildings here, or a lot of shut down commercial buildings here, due to business owners being bullied out of their revenue. But it hasn't just affected business owners again. It has affected the retail stores here, franchises here. So another commonality is, expired goods being on the shelf. I've ran into this multiple times. So, recently I decided to make a trip to my churches that is in my area. And the churches is located next to a gas station. And while I was eating at churches, I went over to the gas station and I looked at the snacks on the shelf, and everything looked old. Everything looked old. Everything looked expired. And I had to ask the attendant, what's the expiration date on this? I couldn't see the expiration date. Everything looked old. And so now, somebody has been caught red-handed, not restocking the shelves. So this expired March 26, 2026. It expired a month ago. And again, if you know grocery stores, you know that they are operated under very strict regulations. You know that if they're regularly open and operated, that they always have somebody restocking the shelves like clockwork. You already know that you're not going to find something that expired a month ago on a shelf of a grocery store that's been regularly operational. So if anybody ever, says, oh, well, she's just saying things, again, proof is in the pudding, that's expired. So on top of me being a business owner and being bullied out of my revenue and having someone misrepresent me online and collect all the funds, I'm also being bullied in my personal life. Just went through divorce proceedings in which I was not informed of any of the court hearings. I'm getting, a certificate of divorce, and the reason for the divorce is incorrect. They made it seem like it was mutual consent when abandonment and financial abuse and infidelity were involved, and alimony was denied, and I did not appear at not one court hearing nor was I properly represented. And on top of that, I did not sign any divorce papers. Mind you, that in addition to that, before I was, emailed a certificate of divorce last week, I was harassed by police at multiple restaurants for 2 weeks in a row. I had someone call the police wherever I was and, have them ask me to leave a restaurant. So I've had to deal with police harassment, theft from my business, and a sketchy divorce proceeding. And again, proof is in the pudding, right? When I say something's off, something's not right. Again, any normally operating grocery store is not going to have month-old food on the shelf. So things have been more than off here in the city of Mobile, Alabama. So it's very exhausting. I'm being presented with personal challenges. I'm being presented with professional challenges. I'm being presented with communal challenges, things that affect my whole city, neighborhood, and everything. So a lot to manage. Usually very exhausted at the end of the day. I have to kind of go out of my way to get normal things done, but at the same time, I just have to count my blessings in the middle of a mess because honestly, it's way worse than any problem that I have. But I'm just informing you all of what's going on and, showing you proof where I can just in case someone ever wants to get up and lie or try to discredit me or bring my mental capacity into question. There goes the numbers right there. And then I also have someone in the background trying to disparage my character. So this person is just, going around being destructive. Well, if I can't mess up her business, if I can't, mess up marital funds, then I'm going to try to get her, with a record that she doesn't deserve. I have somebody lying on me in court as well. All of these things are happening. So again, there goes proof. And yeah, this is going to be uploaded.